My name is Sylvia Rusnak, and I'm a doctoral student at the Georgetown Early.Learning.Project, where we investigate learning and memory processes in young children. I'd like to give you a brief overview of a recent paper in which we used an imitation paradigm to examine memory recall and generalization in monolingual and bilingual 18-month-olds. Early in development, successful memory performance is contingent on an exact match between the cues at the time of encoding and the cues available at retrieval. With age, toddlers can increasingly tolerate differences between conditions at encoding and retrieval, and the ability to extend learning is known as memory flexibility and is tested via memory generalization paradigms. Prior research by our lab has found that bilingual infants from 6 to 24 months of age are more likely to generalize than age-matched monolingual infants are. However, on more challenging memory generalization tasks, additional retrieval cues may support learning by drawing attention to perceptual similarities between encoding and retrieval contexts. One such cue is a novel verbal label. In prior work, Herbert and Hain found that novel labels facilitated memory generalization performance by 24-month-old monolinguals, but not 18-month-olds. The authors concluded that the label bound together many of the features of the stimulus set, and that the label could be applied not only to one stimulus set, but to the other perceptually dissimilar but functionally similar set. Replicating this protocol, we have found that at 24 months, bilinguals were able to generalize without the addition of novel labels, but that monolinguals were not. These findings demonstrated that bilinguals showed an advanced memory flexibility trajectory. We were interested in extending our research to 18-month-olds and examining whether the addition of a novel label would support memory generalization. In the present study, 87 18-month-old monolinguals and bilinguals participated in the cued recall and memory generalization tests. So we used the deferred imitation paradigm. We had two objects, an animal and a rattle, with two versions of each, and the same three target actions could be performed with each set of stimuli. On the first day, experimenters demonstrated one version of each object. After a 24-hour delay, infants were tested with the same stimulus set to test cued recall, and with a perceptually different but functionally equivalent stimulus set to test memory generalization. Either a verbal novel label, miwa or Thornby, or no label, something, was added during demonstration and again at the beginning of the test session. So for example, for the animal, the children could see this demonstration on day 1. We can use these things to make a Thornby. On day 2, the experimenter would have a monkey and say, yesterday I showed you how to make a Thornby. These are some other things we can use to make a Thornby. Can you show me how we can use these things to make a Thornby? For the rattle, children saw the red or green rattle and were tested with one of those versions. We also had a baseline group of monolingual and bilingual children, which did not see the demonstrations for either cued recall or generalization, and instead were only presented with the objects to assemble at test. So we found that both monolingual and bilingual children, regardless of label condition, outperformed the baseline group on cued recall. However, only the bilingual group significantly outperformed the baseline group on memory generalization. Labels did not aid or interfere with generalization performance in 18-month-old bilinguals, such that those in the label and no label groups performed above baseline. These findings show a difference between monolinguals and bilinguals in memory generalization. Because the label did not help or hinder performance by the bilinguals, these findings suggest that generalization differences between groups may arise from visual perceptual processing rather than linguistic processing. Our results were not in line with our predictions, and we were surprised that bilinguals were able to succeed on this cognitively challenging generalization task, both with and without the addition of the label. So these findings suggest that actions speak louder than words. We hope you enjoy the paper, and please feel free to contact the Georgetown Early Learning Project with any questions or comments. Thank you.